Welcome back to Deaton Street. I'm Zach. He's Dustin. And today we're going to talk about the crush ad that is upsetting so many people. But before we get to that, thank you so much for last week. We had tons of new subscribers, tons of likes, comments. We're blown away. Don't really believe it at times. And I'm sure many larger channels are going to look and be like, oh yeah, 400 subs.
It happens to all of us, guys,
Sure. We're not taking any of it for granted. We're very thankful
No.
for y'all. 400 is a big deal for us. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. If you do, let us know in the comments so we can properly welcome you to Deaton Street.
Yeah.
With all of that out of the way, let's talk about this ad with all these instruments and like devices getting crushed into one piece of tech that's upsetting so many people.
With an 8-megapixel camera for outstanding quality photos, a full 3-inch touchscreen for easy interaction, and Wi-Fi connectivity. Introducing the LG Renoir, the new 8-megapixel camera phone, enhanced with Dolby Mobile for music and 8 gigabytes of memory.
Oh wait, that was the LG ad that ran 15 years ago.
Apple's never first at anything that they do, but they did put one out that's probably a little better than that one.
I'm down and all alone. Come and they go. So I some of all the things you do. Give me all rainbows I am told.
The most powerful iPad ever is also the thinnest.
All I ever need is you.
So, Zach, why are people so upset about this ad?
I think a lot of people see it as a metaphor for what's happening in the creative space right now, where you have AI that is getting better at doing artistic and creative things and is taking people's jobs. We haven't seen it a ton yet, but that seems to be the road that we're going down. And it seems like folks are upset that this ad takes the humanity out of creating things, takes the creator out of creating things and gives it to AI. Associated with the iPad Pro, which has the M4 chip, which is supposed to be really good for AI generation, on top of the fact that they added a couple AI instrumentalists into Logic. I can see it. I understand that it's a little tone deaf, especially for, I'd say, like the culture, right? Like where we're at right now, there is real fear that AI is going to potentially kind of take the humanity out of creating. We showed the LG advertisement. I think it's a little different. I think folks didn't react that way because there wasn't as much of a danger then of that happening. And I'm sure we can debate whether there's a real danger of that happening now. But I think that in this case, Apple could have read the room a little bit better before they decided to release this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page, kind of, in a sense. Like, I get where people are coming from because, like, with the integration of AI and everything, stuff like for me with filmmaking and camera work and everything like that, you have companies or programs like Sora that can, and we've touched on Sora before. It's cool. We will probably play around with it in the future whenever we can get access to it. But in the long game, it's like, is this going to replace me? Is it gonna, is it gonna take that place? So I get where that fear is. So I can see where they're seeing Apple missing the mark with the ad. It's a little tone deaf, like you said.
Yeah. And I think it comes from a different place from such a big company like Apple, right? Because with Sora, our hope is that small creators can do more with Sora.
Yeah.
Small creators that don't have access to VFX, but Apple has access to all of that stuff. And so it kind of seems like big tech embracing the AI overlords as they come, right? So that's one reading of the advertisement. What do we think that Apple really meant when what were they trying to convey?
I think they were trying to convey that they are taking all of these creative aspects that you can do outside of the tech space and putting it into one device, right? They're consolidating everything to the iPad. And so they were just kind of symbolizing that as we're going to squish everything into this little bitty tablet that's really thin and,
super thin. That was the end is like
super thin,
super thin. Yeah.
I think that's, and that's like the general consensus is like that's what they were trying to get across there. It's nothing. They came back with like an apology, and I think you have it pulled up.
Yeah.
But they came back with that apology, and it was basically like, we didn't mean to step on anybody's toes or anything like that or offend anybody. It was just to do that. Like it was nothing more than that, you know?
So let's see. They said creativity is in our DNA at Apple, and it's incredibly important to us to design products that empower creatives all over the world. All right. Our goal is to always celebrate the myriad of ways users express themselves and bring their ideas to life through iPad. We missed the mark with this video, and we're sorry. So that rare Apple apology. I think I read the last time they like really apologized was for Apple Maps when it was terrible when it came out.
Cool. Good Lord. That must have been forever ago then.
Yeah. Good times. I loved when Apple Maps was terrible because I'd take it and it would tell you to like drive into a lake. But I back then and still now kind of I'm a little bit of an Apple truther, but like back then I was still pushing it. I was like, who cares? You know not to do that. Just don't do it, Michael Scott.
No, I'm Google Maps all the way. But yeah, it's cool that they came and realized that there was like quite a bit of backlash on this ad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything, I don't think it was anything like inherently negative against it. It was just like, whoa, Apple, whoa, hold on, pump the brakes a second here. What? You know, like people were confused.
People are negative. People are mad, man. I saw some anger.
Hey, there's that too.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of the world we're in, right? People are getting angry about everything.
Yeah.
People are going to get angry about this video. And that's okay. It's all right.
That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
For sure. So what are our thoughts? What do we think about this? Were you upset? Were you offended?
I wasn't offended as much as I was upset that beautiful instruments and technology was getting crushed on a screen in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
And that was okay to do.
So
you know?
do we think that those, obviously they represent instruments and stuff. Do you think that they actually got like a real piano? Like, was that a real piano, or you think that was like a Hollywood prop that they just...
I don't know. For me, I'm thinking Apple went all the way with it and then was like, all right, we need to really capture this stuff.
Yeah. I know some things weren't branded. So they had like some speakers that looked like my KRKs. They weren't branded, but it's easy enough to like take off a brand. Same thing with like the lenses weren't branded, I don't think. Well,
I mean, especially if you have like AI image removal.
Oh man, yeah.
If they, so that's one of those things. I know we being in band in college together, we were taught you respect your instrument that you're playing, or any other instrument for that matter.
Yeah.
You make sure that it is clean, tidy, well kept, and there's no scratches on it, or else we were going to die. Not really.
we had a very intense and a very intense drum instructor who actually taught us a lot about life, but
very much so. But we have a great respect for instruments, and I think that carries over to other devices that we use day to day. Like you have respect for your general items that you use.
It extends to tech
spotless
too. Yeah.
My computer is spotless. Like all of this stuff, if there's a scratch on it, there must have had been an earthquake and it fell out of my hands, kind of thing. So yeah, it was a little like, whoa, that trumpet is bending, not how it's supposed to.
That was my first reaction too, and not to say that it offended me or anything, or I'm on the side of folks that say that Apple shouldn't make this ad. It's just more of the training that we've had to. It got me like right in the heart. Started pumping. I was like, oh, we are so gonna get in trouble for this. I remember one time I was in the room when a snare drum hit the ground. It was kind of like that feeling. It was like, oh no, they shouldn't be doing that. Yeah.
You take a deep breath and you look around and make sure that no one is going to die in a second.
And maybe that's part of it for folks, right? It's the fact that, a camera lens exploding is heartbreaking for someone that loves camera lenses. That guitar looked a lot like my great grandfather's guitar. And for me, it was a cool ad. And I think it's a beautiful ad as far as the way it was shot and all the color science and stuff. But it's like, that looks like my grandfather's guitar that you're crushing. And I don't like that. Like, and you're crushing it into like a little iPad. Like, I get it. So while I wasn't like offended,
Yeah.
I also think that, you know, it was tone deaf for sure. It wasn't the best advertisement for tech
Yeah.
in the time of AI and all the worries about that.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they did it the way that they did it to symbolize that we're pushing everything into one device. It makes sense in a symbolism and imagery type of, way. But yeah, for me, it was like crushing all the items, like the cameras exploding, the lenses exploding and stuff like that from getting crushed. That took me back to, there's recent stuff on like shorts on like Instagram of like these guys,
Oh,
they'll take the camera and like put it
watch the
underneath the sink.
cameras.
Or they're like, oh, we gotta clean the sensor, and they freaking put a
no.
toothbrush. I'm
I
like,
hate those. I hate them.
oh,
Makes me so upset. Yeah.
oh, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yep. Especially,
So-
I think about like what percentage of those cameras still work. It's probably a high percentage, and they could be giving that out to like kids. It's rough, right?
It's rough.
I think that every big company like this probably does have this, but needs a person that their whole job is to look at stuff that's going out and see if anyone could be offended, and like just rank the offense level. Because I think if you had someone like that and they saw this out the bat, you'd be like, yeah, it's going to be pretty high on the on the.
I think
offended
people are
one.
gonna be mad at us for this.
All right,
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory time. Okay, do you have your
Okay.
your foil hat to put on real quick? All right, so Apple has apologized for this, and they say they're not going to put it on TV. Okay, it's still on YouTube. 2.3 million views last I saw.
Yep.
YouTube is free advertising. TV takes money. There's a lot of what we call earned advertising here, where they didn't have to pay, but everyone's writing about this particular video. And what do you
Even
do after you
people are
see?
even-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say people are even making videos about this ad.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, who's that? Yeah, but like the offended tweets,
Yep.
if you see an offended tweet that says, "How dare Apple make this crush ad?" What's the first thing you're going to go do?
Watch the crush ad.
And then you're like, "I can
I'm
do
gonna
all this
find it.
stuff on this thin of an iPad."
Yeah. Oh, I wonder how much traffic is, if they can monitor that, like traffic from the YouTube video, if they have a link in, that'd be something I want to look up after this. I should have looked it up before. But if there's a link to the iPad in the ad,
Yeah.
how much traffic is filtered through that,
Tim Cook probably was like, "Dear everyone on Twitter, I am so sorry for the ad that I have linked at the bottom of this."
Yeah. I'm so sorry for this ad that I'm posting right here.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
It's just we wanted to tell you about how thin the iPad is. Like it's.
We squeezed it down just 2 nanometers thinner.
Yeah. As with all things Apple, I think even when they lose, they kind of find a way to win.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, that's all I got. That's all you got.
That's it. Yeah, that's
That's
all I
it.
got.
So if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. Did you like the ad? Did you get the ad? Did you not get it? Did it offend you? Did it completely wreck your world? Let us know down in the comments. And then, we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we make videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So hopefully we see you then. Remember, if you subscribe, shoot a comment. Let us know you subscribe so we can properly welcome you.
Yep.
See ya.
Peace.
I'm walking the streets of